Coming up next on Cronkite News tonight, President Biden addresses the drought and fires ravaging the West. We'll talk about how he wants to help firefighters.
Still to come, the COVID-19 Delta variant is in Arizona. We'll hear about how vaccines may protect you.
And later on Break It Down, the history of Puerto Rico and its statehood movement.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Emily Carmen.
And I'm Rob Winder. Thank you for joining us.
Officials rolled back evacuation orders from go to set in Sycamore Canyon as they gain control of the Rafael fire. The fire is just under 80,000 acres and at about 90% containment. Scattered showers in the northern part of the fire helped battle the spread, but crews also had to put down 2 lightning-caused fires. Overall, the rain is helping to fight fires across the state, but the scattered showers aren't enough to help the larger problem at hand. Drought still leads to many fires in the West.
Battling those fires, many make less than $13 an hour. That's the pay some federal firefighters earn as they tackle the wildfires ravaging Arizona and other western states. But President Joe Biden recently announced that is about to change. During a virtual meeting Wednesday with Western governors, which did not include Arizona Governor Doug Ducey, Biden announced that no federal firefighter would make less than $15 an hour this year, and permanent and temporary firefighters on the front lines will receive additional bonuses or retention incentives. The pay bump is one of a number of initiatives announced Wednesday aimed at strengthening the firefighter workforce and improving wildfire response.
The truth is, we're playing catch-up. This is an area that has been under-resourced, but that's going to change if we have anything to do with it.
The bump to $15 an hour is technically a bonus and not a wage increase. The White House said it will work with Congress on a more permanent deal to improve compensation for federal firefighters.
Governor Doug Ducey signed the $12.8 billion state budget into law yesterday. The budget includes a tax cut primarily benefiting wealthy Arizonans. Democrats worry the budget won't be able to supply the state's need in the long run. They state while the state currently has a surplus, it will struggle to fund schools, health care, and other priorities in the future. The governor signed the 11 bills that make up the budget after a stalemate over school voucher expansion was resolved.
The Supreme Court ruled this morning to keep in place 2 Arizona voting restriction laws. One of the measures includes banning ballot harvesting, which allows third parties to gather and deliver ballots on a voter's behalf. The court also upheld a law that allows the state to reject ballots cast in the wrong precinct. Many worry about the impact this will have on communities of color. According to the New York Times, Black, Latino, and Native Americans are about twice as likely to cast votes in the wrong precinct as white voters. The Supreme Court ruled 6-3 to uphold the voting restrictions, saying Arizona laws do not violate the 1965 Voting Rights Act. This ruling could impact voting restrictions in other states with similar laws.
Arizona is hovering around 500 COVID-19 cases per day. While those numbers are better than we've seen in a while, vaccination rates have slowed down, and Dr. Joshua LeBaire of the ASU Biodesign Institute warns that soon the Delta variant will be the dominant strain of the virus in Arizona. Earlier this month, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention named the Delta variant a variant of concern. The Arizona Department of Health Services, in partnership with TGen, have found 122 cases of the Delta variant in the state, more than double the number reported just 2 weeks ago. Still, Dr. LeBaire says that with Arizona's vaccination rates, we probably won't see a surge like we've seen in the past.
The Delta variant does respond to the vaccines, so people who are vaccinated are much less likely to get the Delta variant. It does protect the vaccines that are approved in the United States do protect against that variant. And that's all 3 of the vaccines that are in use right now in the US. So you can prevent the spread of this variant by just getting vaccinated. And that's, kind of an important take-home message in general here.
LeBaire says those who have been vaccinated and people who've had the virus before are still able to get sick. He and other experts are encouraging people to continue wearing masks indoors, especially with crowds.
Coming up next on Cronkite News, Arizona sees new record temperatures this year. And these temperatures follow a trend.
And later, a visit from the Valley from the First Lady and Second Gentleman. We'll tell you what they are encouraging Arizonans to do.
Every day I wake up, my first thought is, how can I serve this community?
The biggest hurdle was not taking PTSD personally.
Would you welcome, please, the amazing.
Everybody that watches this, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
It's prime time on your time. Watch Prime Afternoons every weekday on Arizona PBS. Did you miss a show in the evening? Then catch up on Prime Afternoons. Your favorite dramas.
No more bloody heroics.
Antiques Roadshow.
Really?
Nature and Nova.
It's time to reintroduce some wonder into this miracle of nature.
All of the best from PBS on Prime Afternoons. Weekdays starting at 1:30, only on Arizona PBS. Take a journey with Arizona PBS. Join us every Sunday afternoon for Destination Drama. Watch all your favorite PBS dramas like Grantchester.
I'm William Davenport, new vicar of Grantchester.
Poldark.
Nothing in my life has meaning without you.
And Victoria.
I know that I'm young, but I know my duty.
And if you missed a recent primetime drama, we'll help you catch up on those too. Destination Drama. Every Sunday afternoon at 1. Only on Arizona PBS.
Cronkite News is more than your local news station. Through our innovative ideas, we create new ways to connect with our viewers and have their stories be heard. Our cutting-edge technology allows us to take a deeper dive into seeking the truth and delivering new perspectives. Stay up to date on top Arizona stories anytime on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Cronkite News.
First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff visited one of the many vaccination sites in Arizona yesterday. Reporter Julia Sandor followed them on a tour of the site and listened to their remarks about the importance of getting vaccinated.
About 43% of Arizonans are fully vaccinated, and about 49% of Arizonans have one dose, according to the Arizona Department of Health Services. The First Lady and Second Gentleman came to Phoenix to spread the word about the importance of vaccinations and encourage people to get vaccinated.
You know, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and people have come up to me and they've said, Jill, you know, has it been tested enough? Can I trust the science? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, it is safe.
Dr. Jill Biden and Doug Emhoff walked through the vaccination site at Isaac Middle School and thanked patients for getting their vaccine. Mayor Kate Gallego also attended and offered support to those getting their shot. The site is used as a vaccination clinic for underserved populations.
Things are starting to get better. They are starting to get better because of the vaccines, and they will continue to get better.
Dr. Biden says the vaccines were rigorously tested and are the best way to protect against death and hospitalization for COVID-19, especially now with the Delta variant present in Arizona. And even though the First Lady and Second Gentleman usually divide and conquer, Biden says it's more important to deliver the message together.
Summer has never felt more full of promise, and the fresh air just smells sweeter without our masks. And the time with our loved ones feels so much more precious. Now that we know it could be lost. Do your part. Choose to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
In Phoenix, Julia Sandor, Cronkite News.
Phoenix was the last stop on a national month of action tour to promote vaccines across the country.
Last month was the hottest June ever recorded in Arizona's history. According to the National Weather Service, the average temperature was 95.3 degrees. This beats the last records, which were set in 2013 and 2016. A high pressure system settled over the state mid-June, bringing in temperatures over 115 degrees. June also saw the same hottest temperature as last year. The National Weather Service says this weather is likely to continue.
We've seen a trend where the summers are certainly getting warmer, especially the past few years have been very hot. So that's just kind of a continuation of that trend.
Katie Cheshire joins us now to tell us if we'll see any of those record temperatures for the long holiday weekend.
Even though June is over and it's July now, those hot temperatures are continuing, especially for the southwest part of the state, where you can see it's in that bright fuchsia hot color, with Phoenix coming in at 103. However, in the southeast of the state, it's a little cooler, with Tucson at 97 and Tombstone at 86. That's because there is a monsoon system coming up from the south and pushing through to the east of the state. Especially down in that southeast corner, there is some intermittent rainfall planned through Saturday evening, and that also might continue to Sunday. If you're planning to travel somewhere around the region this holiday weekend, you'll likely find cooler temperatures unless you go to Las Vegas, which comes in at 107. But if you're going towards the east to Albuquerque at 85 or Denver at 84, you'll be experiencing much cooler temperatures than you would in the valley. As far as your holiday weekend, you can see that even though that storm system's not directly over Phoenix, there is a small chance of rain on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For your holiday on Sunday, it's predicted to be a high of 105, and those rain showers might happen in the afternoon, which is prime party time. Also, for parties, make sure that you get a buddy to watch your temperature and stay cool, because even though 105 with cloud cover feels cooler than what we've been experiencing, it's still very hot. And your work week will continue to get even hotter. You can see that that chance of rain is gone for the work week, and we'll get up to 110 potentially on Tuesday. So stay safe out there and enjoy celebrating the 4th of July. In the Weather Center, Katie Cheshire, Cronkite News.
Coming up after the break, how one family's migration struggles changed communities of color. We hear from two documentary filmmakers on the subject next.
Every day I wake up, my first thought is, how can I serve this community?
The biggest hurdle was not taking PTSD personally.
Would you welcome, please, the amazing.
Everybody that watches this, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
It's prime time on your time. Watch Prime Afternoons every weekday on Arizona PBS. Did you miss a show in the evening? Then catch up on Prime Afternoons. Your favorite dramas.
No more bloody heroics.
Antiques Roadshow.
Really?
Nature and Nova.
It's time to reintroduce some wonder into this miracle of nature.
All of the best from PBS on Prime Afternoons. Weekdays starting at 1:30, only on Arizona PBS. Take a journey with Arizona PBS. Join us every Sunday afternoon for Destination Drama. Watch all your favorite PBS dramas like Grantchester.
I'm William Davenport, new vicar of Dranchester.
Poldark.
Nothing in my life has meaning without you.
And Victoria.
I know that I'm young, but I know my duty.
And if you missed a recent primetime drama, we'll help you catch up on those too. Destination Drama, every Sunday afternoon at 1, only on Arizona PBS.
Cronkite News is more than your local news station. Through our innovative ideas, we create new ways to connect with our viewers and have their stories be heard. Our cutting-edge technology allows us to take a deeper dive into seeking the truth and delivering new perspectives. Stay up to date on top Arizona stories anytime on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Cronkite News.
The Phoenix Suns are headed to the NBA Finals for the first time in 28 years. This after the Suns defeated the Clippers by 27 points in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. This is the third time in franchise history that the team has made it to the finals. The last time was in 1993. Chris Paul and Devin Booker scored nearly half of the team's points last night. The final score was 130-103. The Suns will face either the Atlanta Hawks or the Milwaukee Bucks in the finals next week. Those teams are currently tied 2-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Two Los Angeles filmmakers made a revealing documentary about a Mexican family's migration to Santa Monica in the early 1900s. Cronkite News reporter Kimberly Silverio Bautista spoke with them about the historical issues and how it affects today's community.
The largest Mexican migrant family, the Casillas, settled in the Pico neighborhood in 1918. They were limited to certain neighborhoods in LA along with the African American and Asian community. Their experience reflects housing problems faced by many people of color in the Southwest who lived in segregated areas because of racially restrictive covenants.
Because this was a multicultural neighborhood, it was the place where all the people of color lived. All the service workers, the janitors, the gardeners, the cooks, the maids lived in this neighborhood. So it was, in many ways, it was defined by racism.
Co-filmmaker Dan Kwong says, "We Were All Here" tells a story of the Casillas family in La 20, which is what locals call 20th Street, in the Pico neighborhood in Santa Monica. Kwong said the family were delighted someone is interested in their story, although it was a challenge to interview them due to COVID-19 restrictions.
So the early interviews had to be done by Zoom, which is very limiting, and one person I only interviewed, only by phone. So that was, it made progress very difficult on the film because I couldn't say, "Can I come over and look at all your old photographs?" Right?
Beyond housing segregation, the construction of the Santa Monica 10 highway affected the neighborhoods. Residents were displaced across the LA communities of color. Co-filmmaker Paulina Sahagan said this neighborhood was thriving even before the highway was built.
Sahagan would like city planners to be more cautious of structures they plan to build before destroying a neighborhood.
Really look at this. Urban planners, really look at this. See what you have already. It's kind of like ripping out native plants and putting plants that don't grow in that medium. So what will happen? You'll have a disaster.
In Santa Monica, Kimberly Silverio Bautista, Cronkite News.
The filmmakers hope to develop the film for educational purposes in the future. Their film premiered in Santa Monica on Saturday, June 26.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thank you for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.